All right, welcome back to this week's session of Start Smart Real Estate Reimagined. Great to have you guys online with me today. It's always good to see some faces, so I'm not just talking to a screen. That certainly helps. So today, what I wanted to do, I guess, last week we talked about 10 lead generation strategies that work. So if you missed that session, I have now loaded it as a YouTube replay, so you can actually check it out on my YouTube channel at Start Smart Real Estate Reimagined. I'm actually thinking about putting this into a podcast, so watch this space for that. So that was last week. Today, I wanted to discuss USP, or unique selling proposition. And I think this is a really important topic, and one that I'm guilty of never really giving much attention to. But I think it's important. There's a few reasons why a unique selling proposition is important. And that's number one is because we're in a competitive market and we want to stand out from other agents. And I believe in real estate, at least in my experience, and I've been doing this for about 8 years now, is that if you're a homeowner looking to sell, how do you actually find the right agent? Because essentially we all say the same things. And I find when I joined real estate, I picked up the real estate handbook and I just looked around me and said, that's what a real estate agent is. That's what I'm going to do. So I wasn't really being different. I was just being the same, okay, well, I'm reliable, I'm trustworthy, we all say those things. But if it doesn't actually connect with your personality and your personal values, I think you're missing a big opportunity. And look, real estate, it's all about the person that is selling the property. It's not about the brand. You might work with a well-recognized brand in the marketplace, but in my experience, it shows that people do business with people. So they hire you because of you, not because of your brand, generally speaking. Now, there might be some hidden gems that your brand offers, but generally not. Yeah, we all offer the same thing. We go out there, we list a property, we offer a fee, there's some marketing involved, we get some photos done, we put it online, we do open homes, we do inspections, we get contracts, and we go through to the sale process. So how do you make yourself stand out in the competitive market? Well, that's by creating your unique selling proposition. And the beauty of this is that you can then not only differentiate yourself from other agents in your marketplace, but it also helps you attract your ideal client. Now, if you haven't done a session about who your ideal client is, that's certainly a worthwhile activity, and you can do a SWOT analysis, which you've probably heard of before. So a SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and that's based on who you are and who your competition is in your marketplace. And when you understand that, you can then differentiate yourself using that SWOT analysis. And the unique selling proposition sort of falls into that, that research, I suppose. So not only can you help attract the right clients to your business, the ones that you want to work with based on your unique selling proposition, but it also builds trust and credibility, because people will connect with you better if they understand sort of what you're about and who you are. So that's why I think it's important to create a unique selling proposition. And I'm not going to go into creating it for you today. I'll encourage you at the end of this maybe to take 5, 10, 15 minutes to sit down and just make a few notes, and then come back to it when you've got a bit more time and spend half an hour on it and just craft your own unique selling proposition. So when you're looking at your unique selling proposition, there's a few different areas to consider, and we can go in depth to this, but generally speaking, I think what you want to focus on is your service approach. So that's number one sort of area. What is your service approach, and how are you different from your competition? And when we talk about service approach, I'm talking about, are you a high-level communicator? Is your communication like above the rest? Negotiation skills, obviously. How are your negotiation skills, and how can you show to your customer that you have, good communication skills, good negotiation skills? So that'd be the first one. What is your service approach, and how is that different from your competition? I believe, and this is just one thing that I'm sort of toying with at the moment, is that we are a service-based industry. And if I'm a home seller, I want someone to deliver a high level of service. And services are all about how you do things. So what do you do differently from your competition that makes you stand out? How you do things. But I also like the idea of bringing hospitality into real estate, because at the end of the day, nowadays, a homeowner can list and sell their own property. So why are they hiring a real estate agent? Hospitality is how you make someone feel. So not only can you do and give great service, but how can you make that experience for that homeowner outstanding? And how can you make them feel like they've had a great experience? And I really think that if you can do that, you'll stand out for your competition. And not only that, if you make someone feel really great about their property journey and their experience with you, it will lead tenfold to better referrals longer term. So something to consider there when you're crafting your unique seller proposition. The next one is your niche, your expertise. You know, what areas are you focused on? I, for one, am focused on a very small marketplace, and I would consider myself the expert of local knowledge in this particular area. So I can use that to differentiate myself from my competition. For you, it might be that you focus on units and unit sales, or you might focus on rural properties or luxury properties. What is it in your niche or expertise that you can differentiate yourself from your competition? Because most agents just go out there and sell just about anything, and guilty, that's what I want to do as well, because I'd love to, you know, sell more properties. But if you can use in your marketing material that you're the expert in a particular space, that will certainly attract more of that clientele to you. So that's sort of point 2. Point 3, your marketing strategy. So marketing is, I guess, and again, this is where I look at agents and go, we all offer the same thing. Yeah, we can get photos done and we can book the photographer in for that. And we can then, you know, put together a preview of your property and list it on realestate.com. But so can everyone else, right? So what are you doing to differentiate yourself from the competition? And this is where digital media is really becoming a strong point for a lot of agents to differentiate themselves, because a lot of agents still are behind the 8 ball when it comes to digital technologies, I believe. They're not either willing to invest the time to learn how to use it, or maybe just a bit shy of using those digital technologies to market their properties. And it's not just about marketing the property as such, but it's actually using those to market yourselves. Because if people can see that you're not just on realestate.com, but you're actually using social media, TikTok, videos, whatever it is to market yourself, they'll probably see that you use that to help sell their property as well. So when you're looking at marketing, what strategies do you do differently from your competition? Do you do virtual tours? Do you do, you know, like the 3D tours of the properties? Do you do videos for your properties? Do you do digital media campaigns, paid advertising through Google, YouTube, and social media channels for your property owners? Now, a lot of people probably don't do that still to this day. And some people might say social media and they just post their, you know, for sale properties on their social media page or thread. But what about doing paid campaigns that target specific audiences for your client's property? So again, that's just another way you can look at making yourself stand out and crafting your unique seller's proposition. And this is probably my favorite. And I think it's about your personality and your values. And I really believe that if you can incorporate your values and your personality into your, you know, your unique selling proposition or your brand, you will build trust and credibility with your audience more so than your competition. And as I said before, people do business with people. So the person that's looking to sell, they're hiring you. They're not hiring the brand. And if you can incorporate your personality in an honest and genuine, authentic way, people will relate to that and they'll connect with you and they'll want to do business with you. The people that don't worry about them, forget about them. They might be price driven and go with, you know, competition based on price alone. And I think that's, again, another really good reason why we need to differentiate ourselves from the competition, because, again, if we're real estate agents and we all do the same thing, of course, you're just going to go for the one that has the lowest fee or the free marketing, right? But if you can show that you add value in a different way, people are going to certainly come to that. So here's a few ideas on what you can do to just brainstorm a few ideas around what your unique selling proposition is. The first one you can do, and you can use AI with some of these too to help you generate the ideas. I find AI like ChatGPT is my best friend in the office these days because it's like my little marketing assistant and sidekick. I can brainstorm ideas with it, and it's fairly on point generally. So a couple of questions you might want to ask yourself is, depending on how long you've been doing this, of course, if you just started, it might be a bit trickier. But if you've been doing it for a year or longer, if you ask your clients what they most loved about working with you, what would they say? And you can see this through your testimonials. So generally, when you sell a property, you get a rate my agent testimonial or REA testimonial. And in there, you'll find out key things that are repeated over and over again about what makes you different. And you could actually take your reviews and punch them into ChatGPT and say, hey, based on all these reviews that I've had in the past, what makes me different from my competition? And it'll quickly analyze that data and spit out, a few of the key points that are your strong points. And that might be in relation to your service skills, your niche expertise, negotiation, things like that. It might be around your marketing and what they loved about there. And it also might be around your personality and values. So good question to ask is, what do my clients say they love about working with me? What skills or qualities do you bring to the table that others don't? And you can look at this from, all your variety of backgrounds. I have a background, not just real estate. I was in retail prior to this. Prior to that, I was in hospitality as well. I've got a degree. I went to university. So you can look at all those things and say, what skills have I learned that really help me stand out from the crowd? And I think you can use them to really, promote yourself, and don't be shy to use those to promote yourself, because people will connect with that if they see that you have a skill set that's different from most agents just saying, hey, we can sell your property and we'll drop our fee to get your business. Look at what type of clients do you want to attract. So again, go back to the drawing board and say, what's my ideal client? Like, who do I want to do business with? This is a question I think is really important, because if you want a happy and content real estate career, you want to work with people that want to work with you. And this has taken me many years, and I'm still trying to figure out the best approach here. But I don't no longer want to work with those people that just want to cut me down on fee and price and free marketing, because generally they're the ones that are the most difficult to deal with. I want to work with the people that really want good service and good communication and an outstanding experience, and someone that they can trust that's got their back all the way. And that's what I'm all about. And so if I can communicate that in my unique selling proposition, great, because people will connect with that, because not everyone is price driven. And I certainly don't want to work with price driven people. So just a few ideas there that you can help brainstorm some ideas about what makes you different. So ask yourself those questions. If you're struggling with some questions or brainstorming ideas, get into ChatGPT and ask it to generate you some questions that you can ask yourself, and then brainstorm your unique selling proposition with ChatGPT, because Chat will help you develop your own unique selling proposition. It's a really great tool to do that. So a couple of ideas about how you might write out your unique selling proposition. And it sort of goes in this formula. So I help your target audience, so your ideal client, achieve whatever result they're trying to achieve by what's your unique approach. So a couple of examples. I help homeowners sell faster for top dollar by using cutting edge digital marketing strategies. So that's a great one. Another example, I specialize in working with first time buyers, making the process simple and stress-free. So a couple of examples then. Again, if you want more examples, create a chat in ChatGPT and help them. It'll help you just, write out a few ideas about your unique selling proposition. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I want to encourage you to start brainstorming this today. I would highly recommend you use ChatGPT because it's a machine. I have a podcast as an example. So I've been running for over 10 years now. I've just recorded episode 1120. And the podcast is unreal estate related. It's about personal development, self-improvement. But I can actually take information from my podcast and say, hey, Chat, I want to incorporate this into my unique selling proposition, because it can then quickly analyze, based on my conversations and past interviews, what sort of personality and values I'd bring to the table for my homeowners and ideal clients. So that's just one example of how you can use ChatGPT or AI to help you create your perfect USP selling proposition. So that's it from me. I'm going to open it up to Q&A now. I'm going to stop the recording here and see what else you guys might have. We can send you a worksheet for anyone listening. If you want a worksheet on creating your USP, we can certainly do that for you. Just email me directly and we'll get one across to you. Otherwise, have a great day ahead and we'll talk soon.